Hey guys, this is Flammy, and welcome back to, I think, the fourth base build part that I'm doing right now. So we are partway complete on my new Town Hall 7 base for Derpy. So this base is going to be focusing on protecting trophies, which means protecting the Town Hall and defenses much more than even resources and everything else. So where are we currently? So we currently have this inner part done, this central circle bit, and then we also started working on this bottom part down here. I screwed up a little bit, and I started recording and playing, and went on the attack, and then came back and started building. Just for a minute, though, just building for a little short amount of time, and then was like, oh, crap, I didn't actually start recording again. So, here we are with take 2, not that you guys would realize it. So, I do have my army that is complete once again, and I've got an army queued up behind it, so we are ready to go on the attack. I have same sort of composition as last time, healer, giant, but then we're throwing in some new things like minions and, of course, a new wall breaker AI is certainly helping out and showing up. I'm sad I missed out on my last attack. You guys missed out on my last attack too, because it was a pretty good one. Got some good gold. Also spent some gold on walls too, so I spent about 140-ish thousand on a couple little walls. This one is not bad right off the bat, and in fact, I think I will take it on. 100,000 gold is not bad, and certainly good. Let's see, though, how do I want to attack this? So, it's sort of hard to get to the air defense on this side. This side is a lot easier. Yeah, we'll do it on this side. Let's check for clan castle guys first. And there are none. That makes it easier. And then let's go with a wall breaker. Boom. And then giants should all target down. Fortunately, they all focus on the same wall. Not that it really matters, considering how hurt the walls were. They should all go for the air defense now, which is important, because it certainly is going to help keep them alive, because if they stay together, that is good. Alright, healer down, and all of them are going off in a pack, so that's good as well. Drop some guys to help out. And they're all going together. Got some. We do have this archer tower over here that's shooting, and it might shoot at the archers. Well, the archers are mostly dead now, so not anymore. If it was shooting at the archers, I'd probably just let it kill the archers. Ooh, air bomb. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Air bombs, totally ineffective against healers. However, very effective against minions. Minions are flying, so they do attract air bombs, of course, and they're also very weak, and air bombs also do splash damage. All those mean they're the perfect minion killer. In my base, I'm actually going to be sure to include stuff like that to make sure to be able to take out minions. Okay, put down some archers out here now that these defenses are distracted. And I'll put down some out here as well. And that should help the giants out and just taking out the stuff. It's not really as much they need the assistance to take out the defenses, but just speed up the process and make sure less giants die. Also, the healer did die right there. I could have deployed really heavily infantry on the right side to take out this air defense before the healer got over, but you know what? It's just fine. We've got enough giants alive at this point. I'm not even sure we've lost very many at all, that we're going to have no problem rolling through these last couple defenses. As is, let's deploy a couple goblins to make sure we manage to get all of the storages. Oh look, finally some flying giants from spring traps. Those are actually the first spring traps we've hit. They had a lot of opportunities to do more. They actually had a pretty spread out base, which certainly helped us. Alright, so those goblins should get most of the resources. Let's check the corners. And nothing. Alright. Let's just do some barbarians there. And make sure everything else is going alright. Yeah, it's looking good. The goblin should rip through these storages and then go over to these gold mines, and it'll be close, but I think we'll be just fine in terms of 3-starring this person. It's going to be another 24 trophies, so actually we're going up pretty fast at this rate. You're going to see how high we're going to get, which is the whole point of redesigning this base, of course. Oop, that was a bad spring trap. Only got one archer. Not very effective right there. And with 20 seconds left, we have 3 army camps left, which are already nicely worked on, given the fact that I deployed those barbarians. 11 seconds left, 10, and done. So, good. 3 stars, and 103,000 gold, and 127,000 elixir. So the elixir actually pushes us over the 1,350,000 elixir mark, which is significant because that means we can actually start a unit upgrade if we want. So units, we have balloons and wizards are the 2 options right here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one of these. The other possibility is wait and do a heal spell. As you can see, or not heal spell, a rage spell. It does cost quite a bit more, about 500,000 more. But I think that'd be actually a lot more effective, because considering I never use balloons or wizards. Yeah, so I think I'm going to... This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep building, I'm going to keep attacking, and I'm not going to spend it yet. But if I spend it later, if I get 1.8 million, I'll spend it on the Rage spell. Perfect, done. Solution is there. If I don't get 1.8 million before I'm done with the base build and have to log off, then I can always go back and start one of those other upgrades. Now, collecting these resources on the right remind me of something which I've been meaning to talk about, and that's, I think, an unintentional change Supercell did during this last update. And that was, so you see these little icons above the gold mines and the elixir collectors? So you used to be able to click on these, I believe, I'm pretty sure. But now it seems that you can click on them, but it doesn't actually collect. You actually got to click on the building itself. So notice that one actually collects the one behind it. To collect this one I'm clicking on, I've got to click down. So there. This is rather disappointing because it means it's harder to collect these, which you find yourself collecting fairly frequently. So if you've noticed you've been having trouble collecting those, that's probably why. Alright, so let's continue with this base build. Although, wait, I think I need to queue up my army first. Do I? 101. Oh yes, absolutely we do. First off, let's queue a second healer. That's a simple decision. And then what do we need? Okay, we need a lot of wall breakers. One wall breaker? I could add more wall breakers. Nah, I don't think I'm going to. One wall breaker, 3 barbarians, and 5 goblins. One wall breaker, 3 barbarians, and 5 goblins. And then we'll spread the rest of the archers out throughout the rest of them. So, actually, oh no, we're going to need to do more. That's 10 minutes, that's even, and then this. Good enough right there. Perfect. Okay, that's that. So where does that leave us? And that leaves us with continuing our outer defenses. So the point of this gold mine, as I talked about pretty extensively in the previous video, is to attract wall breakers. Why do wall breakers go for the gold mine? Well, they go for the closest building of any sort that's behind walls. And it doesn't matter if that's going to be a defense, a storage, or a gold mine in this case. And because gold mines are buildings, they'll attract them to this compartment, which means it'll protect this cannon, and hopefully things like this arch tower behind it as well. So I've also got some tricky plans with both the Teslas and perhaps even the workers' huts, the builders' huts, if possible. I'm not sure if this is going to work out, but you know what, let's place the buildings now and figure out if I have enough walls for that, and that's going to help us decide. So you've sort of seen what I want to do. Now we need to decide if I can do it, if I have enough walls. It's basically the only limiting factor. So I do have an extra spot on the top here. You know what, no, we're going to put Dark Elixir up there, now that I think about it. We don't have much Dark Elixir, not enough to justify heavily protecting it. But I don't mind slightly protecting it, because with 500, that means they can steal about... Oh, it's 5%, so that's 25 per. They can steal 25 Dark Elixir from this, if they are our own Town Hall below it or one above it. So I want to protect that slightly. 25 isn't much, but any more than this, we're definitely going to want to protect. Okay, let's move on to the defenses, like the cannons. So that's going to go here. And then let's move these out of the way. Army camp, go away. I don't want you right now. There's stuff in the way. Good enough. Okay, so then we need another gold mine. Spread it out so there's gap for walls. And then we're going to start just deploying the walls here and make sure we have enough, which I'm not sure we do, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, one thing I want to do now is go and queue up some spells. I have used up all my spells. I had only one lightning when we started, and I used it a while back hitting storages or something like that. What do I want to do? So 3 lightning is a good option because it lets you target down a particularly annoying defense. Or you could do like a 1 of each, which I'm also a fan of. It works well with giant armies. I think I'm going to go with... It's hard. So the 3 lightnings, let me talk about this for a minute. The 3 lightnings, what you can do is, so if someone has a very well protected, let's say anti-air, so I can't deploy my healer, a giant army, to take it out because it's just so well protected, I can drop 3 lightning spells on it and take it out. Wham. Or I could draw 3 lightning spells on a particularly good defense, like a set of mortars. One person tried that on my last base. Yeah, not too many people try it, though. The other thing I could do is 1 lightning, 1 heal, and 1 rage. This means it's much more flexible in many circumstances, because I'll have 1 lightning to deal with things like unexpected clan castle guys, or other things that sort of just need sudden damage to be dealt to them. Heal spell is effective because that means I can attack with my giants into a base which I need to keep my giants alive until they take out the air defense, and then I can drop my healer. But the rage spell also is very effective, but I end up not using it very much because I just find I just don't attack bases where I would sort of think to use my rage spell. Rage spell just increases your damage and movement speed, which is very good, but it's not great at it's not that good because to like sort of use it every time because it's sort of slow to train, as well as I just don't think to use it a lot. So I think I'm going to go with the 3 lightning because the main reason for that is the possibilities for a profit are a lot more. What do I mean by that? I mean that simply if you can't attack a base that has like 300,000 resources because you can't take out their air defense, it's much easier to do that with 3 lightnings than it is with 1 of each. Okay, so I put that cannon there, and let's go find another gold mine. Oh, there's a level 10 one. Perfect. And put this in here. Please, come on, move. Move, don't drag the screen. What is your problem? Thank you. Alright, so that's that. We are going to go place down walls that are going to divide these segments. And I'm going to try to be as efficient as possible by moving segments at a time. But we shall see how it works out. And get the pink wall out of there. I'm going to use the pink walls on the outside. I'm trying to collect the resources. Put the pink wall in there. Actually, we're not going to put it there for now. We want to move a segment of walls in there. Perfect, barely fits. It goes a little too far out, but that's alright. We can adjust that shorter later. And actually, I'll just drag these manually. And we're saying 1 for that. How are we doing on walls? Doing alright. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. If I had a couple left over, I would certainly not complain. Having leftover walls, well, it's always a good thing, but in this case in particular, no, select the other segment. In this case in particular, I want to have extra walls that so I can try to include my Teslas and builders' huts, as I sort of mentioned as before. Okay, those go there. I guess we'll put those there for now. Move this segment of 3. I don't think those have ever moved in a long time. Still a bit of dragging around that's sort of annoying, but you know what? It's working. It's better than before, that's for sure. Certainly an improvement. Are we running out of walls? No, we got some down here, but not a ton. Yeah, I think I might have to change up my design and at least part of it. But that's alright. Experimentation. I didn't count out the walls ahead of time. Let's see how far we can get, as close as we can get to what I'm trying to do. And then we'll work out from there. Alright, so let's figure out where the rest of the gold walls are. Okay, we've got a couple of gold walls. Okay, not many gold walls left. That's good to know. I'm building a segment of 3 to move. 3 right there. And I'll put that in here. Stop jumping around. Go there, please. Would you kindly? Would you kindly get into alignment? I'm going to put these walls over here because that one can move. Putting these over here because I might readjust the corners, which is if I run out of walls, I'm going to readjust the corners first. So there's that. into alignment, and good. I guess I can talk about more about the update. So the Dark Elixir barracks brings out a lot of possibilities. So if you hadn't noticed, we've got 3 units in here. Pretty obvious, right? Well, you notice there's also all these other spots, which means this is the likely route to which Supercell is going to be doing updates in the future. This is interesting because it means the first 3 units, which you already have, are probably going to be on the weaker end of things. They did position them in the first couple slots, and if you imagine that is the same as like a normal barracks, the minion would take up the same spot as the barbarian. And the Hog Rider would take up the same spot as the Archer, and the Valkyrie would take up the same spot as the Goblin. Obviously, it doesn't mean they like work in the same way. It simply means that like the cheap infantry style ones are first. So lower supply, lower training times, and fairly cheap in terms of Dark Elixir. So that means some of the units we're likely to see next are likely to be a lot bigger, buffier, scarier guys. Interesting thing. This means attacking is probably only get easier in the future, and unfortunately it probably means that the top trophy counts are going to be dominated by people who gem Dark Elixir rather than Elixir. This sort of change is going to be, I mean, it's not going to, it's really hard to tell how it's going to affect like most players, but if they add super powerful things, basically someone's going to use them, and who that someone is going to be the top people because they're willing to pay for it. Okay, so where does that leave us here right now with these walls? So I think I just used up nearly my last walls, so let's try to fit these last 7 or so into the work. Let's try to fit. Can we do it? I don't know, can we? I think I'm going to have to tighten it up. We'll see. So my plan is, if this doesn't work, if I'm short a couple walls, I'm going to kick the gold mines out and put Teslas and builders' huts in their place. But I would prefer to avoid doing that, just because it'll be more effective if they're bigger. But at this point, we're not going to be able to enclose both of them, and we can't even enclose one of them. We get close. We are 2 walls short of enclosing 1. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Gold mine away. Tesla, come hither. Tesla here. Perfect. And then we'll scoot in the walls, and this will save us some walls, you'll notice. Not a ton, but some. And that gives us 1 extra, and we'll send this extra wall up to here. Send this guy away. Put that there, send this guy away. These will save us a lot of walls because they're already built out. And go there, and there. And here, and here. I'm curious how many walls this is going to save us. 3 walls. That's good. I think that'll be pretty good for what my goal is. There. And put these in little squares. Not quite. Perfect. And then we can tighten this up a little bit, saving us a couple more walls. However, I don't have a great spot to put them, but let's leave them. So we got 2 extra walls. So what are we doing with these holes? So I clearly put 1 Tesla in here, over here on the right side. What are we going to do with the other 3, though? Well, this might seem a little silly, but it's no sillier than putting gold mines in there. We're going to put builders' huts in here. Yes, indeed, builders' huts. Now, builders' huts obviously have no defensive value. They don't attack, they have barely any health, but what they are is small, and they're also a building. So this means wall breakers should be attracted to builders' huts, and they'll be behind the walls here, which means wall breakers will be attracted to these walls here, rather than these walls out here. This is beneficial because it means that perhaps they'll attract wall breakers that would otherwise be breaking into the center. It's still going to be pretty easy for people to break into these segments in here, but beyond that, the next wall breakers deployed would likely go for these 2 ones rather than for this mortar in here. At least that's what I'm hoping and planning. So that's going to be our inner base right there. I think our army's done, so yes, indeed it is. let's queue up our next one and go and attack. And when I get back from this, we can go and look at some of the stuff outside of those walls. Alright guys, I'm going to have to cut it here. I'm sorry if you were hoping to see this attack, but you know what? It's going to be a good one. I won't tell you what it is, won't spoil it for you, but it's a good one. So check out part 5 of my last one of my base build, where we're going to wrap up this base and sort of look at the entire part, complete it as is, and then we can go test it with a real test, which is let people attack it. If you're not subscribed, why not consider subscribing? I'm putting out a couple of Clash of Clans videos every single day of the week. And if you already are subscribed, thank you very much for subscribing. I really do appreciate your ongoing support and hope you've enjoyed these videos. Beyond that, guys, you can show that support by liking and commenting below. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a great day.